This story was like a nightmare that just unfolded in slow motion. On September 25th, a 17-year-old Caden Spite from Denellen, Florida, sent a chilling text to his family. The text said he had been shot and abducted by 4 Hispanic men in a light-colored van. And that text alone was enough to launch every emergency resource into action. And within hours, there was an emergency Amber Alert issued, schools were notified, deputies were dispatched, and search volunteers spread out across forests, highways, and neighborhoods. It was a family and community's worst case scenario come to life, as you could imagine. A young boy taken from strangers and possibly seriously injured or even worse. So authorities ended up finding Caden's truck, and it was abandoned on Highway 484. And at the scene, there was a bullet hole in the windshield, drag marks in the grass, bicycle tracks along the side of the road, and what looked like blood inside the vehicle. Caden's phone was also in the truck, and it was broken in half and shattered. And we know the thing about missing persons reports, right? Like every single hour counts. So as you could imagine, the whole community started looking for Caden. They ramped up their search efforts. By the end of the day, they had canvassed miles of woods, rivers, residential areas, and they were doing everything they could to help find him. And then there was a total plot twist. Deputies found Caden in Williston, Florida, which is about 30 minutes away from Denellen, and he was alive. And what they saw didn't make any sense at first. Caden had been shot, but it was a shot to his leg, which was clearly self-inflicted and had shattered his femur. And more than that, Caden still had the handgun in his possession, which is wild. This gunshot wasn't from the day before like he had texted his parents though. Caden had done this to himself shortly before the police found him in an effort to keep up with the story that he had created in this text. So investigators started piecing together the situation. Caden was found with a bicycle, camping supplies, and a tent, and the gun he had used to shoot himself. And right away it became clear that Caden had staged the scene of his own, quote, kidnapping and ran away. He had shot a bullet through the windshield of the truck, splattered a mixture of blood around to make it look like he had been shot, and destroyed his phone after sending that text to his mom. He had even used ChatGPT to search things like how to collect blood without pain and looked into Mexican cartels. This wasn't just some random attack. This was clearly something very planned out to look like a kidnapping and that he had been shot, but that wasn't the case at all. And so after they discovered the truth, the charges started piling up against Caden, presenting false evidence, shooting conveyance, making false reports of a crime, and possession of a firearm by a minor.